Hollywood is a land of dreams, a place where talent, beauty, and ambition can propel someone to fame. But beneath the surface lies a darker reality, one of obsession, control, and violence. This is the tragic story of Dominique Dunne, a rising star whose life was stolen far too soon. Dominique Ellen Dunne was born on November 23, 1959, in Santa Monica, California. She was the youngest child of Dominique Dunne, a writer and Hollywood producer, and Ellen Beatrice Griffin, a ranching heiress. From an early age, Dominique was surrounded by the entertainment industry. Her father worked with Hollywood's elite, and her older brother, Griffin Dunne, would go on to become a successful actor and director. Despite her privileged background, Dominique was not someone who relied on connections alone. She had a passion for acting and was determined to make it on her own. After attending private schools in California, she studied acting at the University of Colorado, but her true education came when she moved to Los Angeles to pursue her dream. Hollywood took notice of her quickly. She was beautiful, talented, and had a presence that made casting directors pay attention. Her early career consisted of guest appearances on popular TV shows. She had a natural ability to make audiences care about her characters, and it wasn't long before she got her big break. In 1982, Dominique landed the role that would make her famous, Dana Freeling in Poltergeist, a horror film that would go on to become a classic. Produced by Steven Spielberg and directed by Tobe Hooper, Poltergeist told the story of a family haunted by malevolent spirits. Dominique played the teenage daughter, Dana, delivering a performance that, while brief, left a lasting impression. Filming was a dream come true for Dominique. She bonded with her co-stars including JoBeth Williams, Craig T. Nelson, and young Heather O'Rourke. The film was a massive hit, grossing over $120 million worldwide. It seemed like Dominique was on her way to becoming a major Hollywood star. But while the world saw a young woman on the rise, behind the scenes, she was trapped in a nightmare of her own. Not long before Poltergeist was released, Dominique met John Thomas Sweeney, a chef at the upscale restaurant Ma Maison. He was charming, successful, and passionate. At first, their relationship seemed perfect, but those closest to Dominique saw warning signs early on. Sweeney was possessive, he was jealous, and soon his love turned into control. Friends noticed changes in Dominique. The once vibrant and independent young actress became anxious and withdrawn. Then, the violence began. Sweeney's jealousy turned into physical abuse. There were bruises, there were excuses. Friends and family urged Dominique to leave him, but like many victims of domestic violence, she struggled to break free. One night, after an argument, Sweeney grabbed Dominique by the hair and slammed her head against the ground repeatedly. Terrified, she fled to her mother's house. This time, she knew she had to leave him for good. Dominique ended the relationship and moved into a house on North Sweetser Avenue in West Hollywood. She was reclaiming her life, but Sweeney refused to let her go. He stalked her, called her obsessively. He begged her to take him back. And then, on October 30th, 1982, he showed up at her door for the last time. Dominique was at home, rehearsing for a TV role with a friend when Sweeney arrived, pleading to speak with her. Against her better judgment, she stepped outside. Moments later, the argument escalated. Neighbors heard shouting, then silence. Sweeney had wrapped his hands around Dominique's throat and strangled her in the driveway of her own home. By the time her friend realized what was happening and ran outside, it was too late. Sweeney was standing over her unconscious body, his hands still clenched into fists. Dominique was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. She was placed on life support, but doctors knew there was no hope. 5 days later, on November 4th, 1982, her family made the heartbreaking decision to let her go. She was only 22 years old. Dominique's death shocked Hollywood, but what happened next was even more horrifying. John Sweeney was charged with second-degree murder, but his defense team argued that he acted in the heat of the moment. They painted him as a man who had simply lost control. Despite overwhelming evidence of his history of abuse, the jury convicted him of voluntary manslaughter. His sentence? 6.5 years. But he didn't even serve that. After just 3.5 years, John Sweeney was released from prison, free to walk the streets while Dominique's family was left to mourn her forever. Dominique Dunne's story is a tragedy, a reminder of how domestic violence can escalate, a reflection of a justice system that often fails its victims. But her legacy didn't end with her death. Her father, Dominique Dunne, used his platform to speak out about injustice. Her family fought for victims' rights and domestic violence awareness. Her performance in Poltergeist remains a haunting reminder of what could have been, the promise of a bright future stolen too soon. Do you remember Dominique Dunne? Share your memories with us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to know when new videos like this one are dropped, and we'll see you in the next one.